this exercise really has something to do with getting your butt up. It will demand a lot of coordination, and it will also put some conditioning into your workout. Try it out. Hello everybody, this is Max from ROXX Functional Training, and I am about to show you a bodyweight exercise where you have to do a lot of stabilization in many body parts, but mainly you have to activate your gluteus and to make this exercise working. So now I'm showing you the first variation of this exercise. The starting position looks like this. You can put your hands down like this, you can let your fingers point to the outside, but you also have one more option. You can, if you have a mattress like this, you can put your fists to the floor like this. This will help because when you do the exercise you have to push out and you have to get your butt into the air. So by doing it like this you have a little bit more space because you have a straightened joint here. I will show you the exercise in this variation. And it looks like this. You push out, you have activated straight arms, you have your completely abdominals contracted, nice and secure, and the arms and the whole torso are parallel. So then you start in this position, you choose one leg which is straight, and this should be almost parallel to the floor. The other leg is in contact with the floor in a knee bending position. Now we're going to do it slowly. We activate our left gluteus mainly to straighten our hips. We go to front foot position, switch it up, and come down again by switching into the starting position. Now we activate the right gluteus, keep the legs straight, parallel to the floor. In this position, the whole body should be parallel, and then we switch it up again, like this. Starting position, activation of the glute, and switching movement. You can enhance the mobility like doing it like this. Straighten the standing leg, going up, switching, and really pushing to the back. That's a little bit additional movement. You have to stabilize your shoulders a little bit more doing that. A little progression. This is the first variation, just try it. Now I will show you an advanced variation of this exercise. This is called a progression, and this is going to be a much more dynamic version of the first exercise. And because it's more dynamic, it will be more demanding. Your demand of oxygen will be rise, so your cardiovascular system will be working a lot harder, and it's going to be a faster movement. So all the small details of this exercise, you have to have them down by doing the first one very good, because it's going to be faster, and that's why the coordination part of the exercise will be much higher. So the starting position is the same. You go into the same position, and now we're going to do it like this. First movement is also, and again, the hip extension with a good stomach, no hyperextension, and we try to make a fast movement, so we almost jump into the air, and in the air we're going to switch the legs. It looks like this. Big movement. That's how it looks like. I will give you a little summary about the facts where you should watch out when you do this exercise. First thing I want to point out is the wrist. When you are not too used to bodyweight exercises where you have a bent wrist and to have pressure on it, it will feel tired after some time and it will feel uncomfortable. So one thing you can do, because you're always in this exercise you're always in contact with your hands and the floor, and you will always have body weight on it, so you can change your wrist position doing this. You can put your wrist down, therefore you have a straight wrist, and this makes it much more easy for especially for beginners. And you can switch it up as soon as this position feels tired. You can go to this and switch it around as many times as you want. So the next thing is the gluteus. You always should have the concentration on the gluteus. When you do the extending hip, it should always be the gluteus who is the first mover, not the ischius. And this should be always in the back of the mind of everyone who's doing this exercise, because some people lose that concentration and they activate the ischius too much, and this is no big problem, but the glute is a much more efficient muscle in this activation chain, and especially the glute is the muscle who should do more work in most people's life. So this is the position, and like really get the concentration here, extending the hip. This is the glute doing it. And at the end of this movement, where you are almost parallel to the floor, you have to have good abs posture, because when you do it the dynamic way and you lose a little bit of that tension here, you risk getting into the hyperextension of the lower back, which is not a good position to be in. So always keep your abs intact. The last thing I want to point out is the ankle situation. Especially when you do the dynamic one, the fast one, you have to have a good movement here. Otherwise, the switching, which happens very fast, will not work properly. So when you are in this position, you really should make sure to first contact with the front of the foot, and then you roll into the whole foot, and then you switch. Same thing here, this. And you should really do the first variation of this exercise before you do the dynamic one, to have this movement almost automatically. You will hear when you do it wrong. You will land on the complete foot, or worse even, when you land on the heel, it will get a loud noise. When you have people doing it in a room, there should be almost no thumping noises. That's when you can see and hear that the people do this correctly, especially the movement in the ankle. So first, practice the easy form, and then when you are ready, you go to the next one. Have fun with that. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I will try my best to upload many other videos about mobility and about bodyweight exercises with and without tools. I have another channel which is called ROXX Box Workout. The link you will see below. There you can find box exercises with pads and also functional training combination. I hope you like that. Thank you all.